welcome. My name is Stephen Crane, and this is my level in Unreal 4 that utilizes damage over time as well as instant kill areas. Um, Also uses AI and several different state mechanisms. So let's get right into this. Alright, so as you can see, kind of built a very linear level here. One that you kind of have to progressively get through each room to progress on to the next. Um, and I tried to make it somewhat similar so that players would quickly grasp the concept of what they needed to do. However, I did play with making even like similar things a bit different, so it wasn't just the same old, and I'll get into that once I get to that part. Anyways, so we have a basic starting room for the player. Which just opens with the console, as I've been using thus far. This first room, the player will hit a checkpoint right at the beginning, so if the player dies, they will just revert back to this point instead of all the way back to the beginning. As we go through my level, I've added several other checkpoints throughout the level as a stepping stone mechanism for the player. So, in this first room, the only real danger to the player is the water. By falling in the water, it very rapidly does damage to the player over time, resulting usually in the player's death if they don't jump out of it immediately. The object of this room is simply to get to the console and then get all the way over to the opposite wall where the door will open up if you activate the console. Once you get into the next room, there is yet another checkpoint, as well as an electric floor, which is represented by a blue lit floor with spark particle effects on it. By touching the electric floor, the player will instantly die regardless of their health. And then also I've placed fire particle effects on some of these pillars that do damage over time to the player. It doesn't kill the player as rapidly as the toxic water in the last room, so the player can actually use the pillars to still get across if they're having difficulty making certain jumps. However, I have made it so that you can completely avoid the pillars with the damage on them by going kind of a risky route, whereas if you slip up, then you fall onto the floor and instantly die. Once again, simple as activating the trigger, opens the door on the other side of the room, and the other door, or through the door on the other side of the room, you have yet another checkpoint. With this console both closes the door behind you, which is the first one that actually does that, and then once that door closes, the wall here drops down, allowing the player to proceed. However, if the player, say, activates the console and then quickly runs back into this room, they can reopen it with the previous console, which resets the wall and the door, so the player would just simply have to come in here and activate it again, and then it will once again close the door and lower the wall. In this room, it's more of a maze mixed with avoiding AI enemies, where there are two enemies over here, and if they catch you, they instantly kill you, throwing you back to the previous checkpoint. And they are set to typically just wander at first, and then as they see the player, they will switch from a wander state to a chase state, so they will actually try to chase you down and catch you. If they fail, then they revert to another state. Is typically, I believe I have it set to the wander state currently. They also do have patrol state and idle state. And so yeah, this room is primarily just the maze mechanics. You can pretty much deactivate the AIs by tricking them into specific corners that kills their momentum and switches them to the idle state. so they will just stand there, as well as you can simply outrun them. Something else to note is that the AIs typically on Wander are at half speed, whereas when they're chasing the player, they are at full speed. So once they spot you, they do pick up the pace and come after you. The objective is to get over this massive wall and activate this console, which opens up the final door into the finish line room. So let's hop right in and I will playtest it to show you guys it in actual gameplay form. So as you can see here, we've got the water room. Simply jump from pillar to pillar. You can either go the safe way, or you can kind of try to make some long jumps. You can get back up onto this one. As you can see, failed there, didn't fail there. But yeah, so now that I've touched the water, I've effectively taken damage. So I want to be careful not to touch the water that much more. So now that we've made it into this room, we've got the electric floor and the fire. So I'm going to stay in the fire bit, and I die. So stay in the fire too long after taking too much damage in both the water room and on the fire. And then by touching the electric floor, I instantly die. Respawns me. So now I'm going to get across the room, hopefully without taking any more damage. Right, and then as you can see, I was able to jump from that safe pillar to this safe pillar, and then I'm actually able to make this jump at the risk of possibly falling on the floor. As you can see, it's feasible. You don't have to jump on the fire, but it is an option. You just take damage for it. Anyway, so now that the door behind us is closed, this wall in front of us lowers, and now we get to deal with the AI. Let's see where they are. Alright, this might get a little freaky here. Hopefully I don't bump into one. It is kind of scary bumping into the AI unintentionally. I'm not even seeing them. Oh, there's one. And I don't believe he's spotted me, so... Oh, there he goes. He's spotted me, so as you can see, he just takes off running. So I'm going to quickly get down here, because I don't want to have to reset. As you can see, I escaped him. There's still another one running around. I don't really want to deal with him right now. But anyways, as you can see, I've opened up the escape room, and I've made it. And that is my level. Thank you for watching.